Now for this hour, we start with Iran and US. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has called for fair and equitable negotiations with the United States. He has instructed his foreign minister to pursue talks with Washington, signaling a change in Tehran's stance amid ongoing tensions. The announcement follows growing pressure from both regional allies and global leaders after Iran's deadly crackdown on protests. This latest move also marks a clear sign that Pezeshkian has received support from Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei to engage in talks with the US. However, the Iranian president has also clarified that any negotiations must take place in an atmosphere free of threats and unreasonable demands. While the US has yet to formally respond to this offer, President Donald Trump has previously warned of consequences if a deal was not reached regarding Iran's nuclear program. Additionally, a senior UAE's official, Anwar Gargash, has spoken at the World Government Summit in Dubai, urging Iran to rebuild its relationship with the US. Let's listen into his statement.
I think from everything that I know, Iran today needs to reach a deal. I think Iran, on the one hand, has suffered geopolitically, and at the same time, its economy needs to rebuild itself, and to rebuild that, they need to rebuild their relationship with the United States. I think through reaching a deal, a political deal, a wider geostrategic deal that will actually be beneficial to the area, the Iranians are also helping themselves in ultimately what they need, which is rebuild their economy.
Now for this discussion, we welcome Mr. Peter Baum. He's the editor at Weekly Blitz, joins us live from London. Thank you very much, Mr. Baum, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now looking at this, as tensions arise between them, what can we expect from both of them? As you know, both of them are hard-headed, of course. It seems like they have some disagreements, like the nuclear deal, that nuclear ambition that Iran wants to pursue and US wants to halt.
Yes, we assume that the talks are going to proceed on Friday. That's the day that we understand will be the start of the negotiations. But of course, Iran has very little leverage in the current world order. As we know, their economy is in absolutely dire straits. Politically, they are virtually isolated. They're getting verbal support from China and Russia, but that's about it. Their proxies have been decimated, and there's not a lot they can do given the military build-up that's still going on of the US armada, as Trump calls it, and the Air Force in the planes, which are in Azerbaijan, Qatar, etc. So it's very difficult to see what the Iranians can offer Trump, who from his posts on social media is being very strong about what he wants on the deal, and that's basically for the Iranians to completely give up not only their nuclear capability, but also the ballistic missiles that they hold. So all the cards, as we say, are in the hands of the Trump administration, and the Iranians, other than offering the rhetoric about what will happen if there is not a peaceful outcome, etc., and they won't be forced into a corner unless the talks are, what was the term they used, fair and in an atmosphere of peace.
Yes, reasonable and fair. Yes. Right. So how cornered do you think Iran actually is right now? As we know that they've already talked to their non-traditional allies, and also the fact that they think that they're capable to to have equal leverage, or be able to talk with U.S. in eye to eye?
Yeah, every political researcher and analyst who follows this closely will know, to answer your question directly, Iran are cornered. They have no leverage at the moment. They would have had a couple of years ago with the help of their proxies, for example, and even the European nations were very soft on Iran, but we've seen what's happened more recently about European nations stating that the IRGC are a terrorist organisation, which has huge implications for Iran in the geopolitical arena. So they are cornered, and as I said before, it's very difficult to see what leverage they have. As I see it, they at the moment, as each day goes by, I know they're playing for time, but their situation gets weaker.
Right. So last but not least, why do you think they're still so emboldened? They seem to, at least through statements, they seem to be so confident.
Yeah, this is very typical of the Iranian rhetoric under their totalitarian theocrats. They have to continue these statements, as you say, of being bold and strong for the domestic audience that the declining domestic audience that still supports them. But actually, the more they make these statements, and as each day goes past, the weaker they become. We've seen what's happened in Iran in the last few days with the various explosions that they're suggesting they're all gas leaks. My God, they have a lot of gas leaks in Iran. Buildings are being blown up, domestic infrastructure is being damaged. Yes. They are in a very, very weak position. And apart from the rhetoric, which yes. they continue to give to the world's media, their situation isn't very, very strong at all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Baum, for sharing that insight. Please stay with us as we come back to you for a later discussion as well. Now, looking at Russia